Hi and welcome to this Ucommerce masterclass. My name is Mads and I'm going to be your trainer in this exercise where we are going to create the add to basket functionality. Right now we have the ability to display our category navigation, which renders out all the categories that we have set up in our Avenue clothing store in the back office of Ucommerce inside Sitecore. The customer can navigate to a category where all the products are rendered out nicely, just like this, with a display name, price tag, and a link to a product detail page that we have created as well, where we are showing all the details around our product. In the last exercise, we explored what a product was in Ucommerce and all the concepts around a product, such as a product family, a product variant, and a product definition. We noticed that our black and white wonderland is a product family because it uses the shared definition that has one or more field enabled as a variant property. When that happens and we have a product family, the variant are those that are going to be the sellable part. So when we are going to create the add to basket functionality, the customer needs to pick which variant that he or she wants to purchase in this case. On an accessory such as a tie, we are not talking about a product family, but a normal product here. And that means that there is no variants to pick. And this is the sellable product that we have up here. So that is fine. In this exercise, we are going to create the functionality that should be inside the Add to Basket button here. And to do that, we will open up our Visual Studio solution, Ucommerce for Sitecore Masterclass, into the website project, controllers, and down to the product controller that you worked in the last exercise. Down here, we have an index method here, which is an HTTP post method, which will be hit when we click on the Add to Basket button. And this is where we are going to create the functionality that adds the product to the basket, but also creates a basket if the basket hasn't been created on beforehand. All that we can do with one line of code in Ucommerce by calling ucommerce.api.transaction-library.add-to-basket. It takes in a quantity and a stock keeping unit, which we will get from our model here, and a variant SKU. And as you can see, the variant SKU here is an optional parameter, so you don't always have to specify one. It is only when the customer has to purchase a variant that you need to specify the variant SKU. We can do this in all scenarios because the variant SKU will be left as null, which is the default value, if we are talking about a normal product, because of our map product method up here. And this is all we need. But you can also see that there's another optional parameter up here called unit price. This is where we can override the default behavior of calculating the price for this product that the customer is added to the basket. So for example, if we have to account for some parameters that the customer could customize the product with, then we can specify the price group to either have another currency or to have another tax rate that we should have for those kind of product that we're adding in here, for example. We will add it to the existing order line, so if the product already has been added, we will just increase the quantity instead of adding a new order line. You can override that behavior by setting add to existing order line to false. Then we are also executing the basket pipeline as default when we add to basket. The basket pipeline is responsible for calculating all the amounts that are on the basket. It is important to execute this pipeline whenever we do modifications to the basket and just after, to make sure that our basket is already ready to be presented for our customer. So when we are loading up the basket and want to show it for the customer, we don't have to wait for the calculation to go on. We do it immediately after we have done modification that will store those on the basket, so it is ready to present it the next time for the customer. Then we can pass in some properties But for now, we will just keep it simple. This is all we need. A specified quantity, which product it is, and which variant product it is, if it is a variant product. This will also be responsible for creating the basket if you don't already have one. We always recommend you guys to only create a basket when you know your customer needs one. We of course have top level APIs to create a basket as well, but try to be careful with that, because if you create a basket when, for example, your visitor arrive at your web shop, that will give you a new basket in the database. That will also happen when a search engine crawler comes by to index your site. And you could easily end up having a huge overload of baskets down in your database that are never going to be used. And that's the reason why we recommend you guys to only create a basket when there's a need for one. For example, when we do add to basket. Then we know that the customer needs a basket because he wants to purchase something. Alright, let's try to save and build this. Refresh our store here. Like that, we should now have the ability to add stuff to the basket. So if I click add to basket, you'll see that not much happened. But if we take a look at the cookies, we have now a basket ID cookie here stored in the browser, which sort of indicates that a basket has been created for us. We could add a tie. Let's try to add a shirt by picking a variant like that. And now our basket should contain both a tie and a black and white Wonderland product. To verify that, we can go into the back office here, Order Manager, where we can search for orders that are of the status basket. And you can see the last one that we have down here should correspond to the one that we just created. One tie and one black and white Wonderland product. And that's it. Now it's your turn to implement the add to basket feature. Please use the handout as inspiration. There's also a bonus exercise down there that you can do. It is exercise 070, browse add to basket. When you're done with this exercise, please continue this video. Welcome back. I hope you have enjoyed implementing this exercise and that you managed to do it. In this exercise, we wanted to give the customer the ability to add a product that he or she wants to purchase to the basket. To do that, we needed to call Ucommerce API.transactionLibrary.addToBasket as minimum specifying the quantity, the stock keeping unit of the product, and the variant stock keeping unit of the product. The add to basket is also responsible in our case for creating the basket. So if the customer not already have one, add to basket will take care of creating one for us, so we don't have to accommodate for that need. That's it. I hope you have enjoyed this exercise. See you in the next one.